Welcome back to another episode of Cascade Valley, and this week we try to not get angry. The way last weekend it was absolutely painful, but this week we are facing SMU, who is number 18 in the nation. We are currently not ranked at 1-1 in the year, but I feel like we can still get ranked this year. The guy we got to look out for is Omari Hayes, an 87 overall wide receiver with good speed, and with our DBs, I feel like we can probably cover him. We just got to hope that our safeties can do their job. Now, when we check our recruiting before we hop into our third game of the year, we do see the one guy that we care the most about is Forrest Lemon, an athlete, but he should be a quarterback. This guy, you already know that he likes pro potential, which we definitely do not have. He likes brand exposure, and then his deal breaker is brand exposure. So we're going to have to do a sway for him when he gets to his top 5. But why we like him is 83 speed, 87 acceleration, 90 throw power, 87 short, 86 medium, 83 deep accuracy. This guy can be a problem and could probably start for us year 1. Picking up to start the game, and Cascade Valley is going to tote that rock, at least for a couple of plays today. Coach McMervin has really spent a lot of time revamping this team's playbook to try to make sure that his guys are just in a way better spot because the offense has been not great. And more importantly, you can argue the defense has really let this team down time and time again over the history of the Dynasty, but we need the offense to lock in. Risky pass there by Harmon. Little RPO. Fiercely maybe could have went outside there instead. Fiercely is really going to be that guy that we miss the most. He has been dominant since he set his feet on campus, and the day he's gone is going to be a sad day in CVU history. Coach McMervin's seen enough, though. He's going to go for his guys on 4th down, believing they can make something happen here. Harmon all day, almost floats the ball over Tally. Back to the run game. We neglected it a little bit, but the O-line just refuses to block for their guy. At some point, you have to wonder, when will Tugboat Jackson explore that transfer portal and just let Coach McMervin know that he's not happy here because this man is a 1,500-yard rusher every year if he has blocking. Harmon trying to get the pass game a little respect, so maybe his guys get better run blocking. A dot here to Tim Tyndall, and the senior's going to get inside the red zone. Harmon is trying to avoid interceptions because that has been the biggest issue of his career so far. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Harmon drilled, and that ball almost falls as an interception. 3rd and 8. This team has had a good drive. They don't want it to end here. Harmon throws it behind Tugboat, and he drops it. So out comes Chip Nix to go ahead and give us a 3-0 lead against SMU. We could have had a touchdown on the opening drive, but Harmon, struggles continue this season. We talked about the defense a little bit ago, and SMU was showing why they are a ranked team, and we are a team that is fighting to be relevant. And Nichols goes down. That's not good. We just got him. From the 2-yard line, the running back gets confused, and we drop him for a big loss. Our guys moving around as SMU switches things up here. A big chance to lock in. They throw one, and what is our safety doing? What is he doing? That was actually Hemhill guarding no one. We're disgusted. Our defense staying on the field because the offense just seems to struggle to make anything relevant happen. And a stop, though, is going to drop him at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. SMU's out here. They throw one, and that one's going to be picked off. Hemhill didn't get one earlier, but this time he shows up big in the red zone. Big-time player made a big-time play, and now it's time for the offense to try to get something here. Harmon rolling, had him all day, and Dakota James catches a very bad thrown ball McMervin's height. Little press coverage almost on the outside. We're going to watch that. Fiercely had all day, but we're going to get rid of this one and throw it out of bounds. Harmon trying to do a little bit better here on 2nd down. Feels the blitz, but throws a dot to Mark Fiercely, who hauls it in for the first. 1st down, getting a run for Tugboat. This man says, I don't get any blocking, so I'll run him over. 2nd and 3, Tugboat's going to slide out in motion again. New playbook for CVU. And so far, it's looking good. 3rd and 3 from midfield. We've been here before. We hit him with Mark Fiercely again. This man has dominated the reception so far. 2 set of downs. The guys just trying to make something happen. Tugboat over the top is going to be there in the open field. That might be the worst juke move by a running back in the history of football. But despite that looking absolutely terrible, Tugboat and company are still here fighting now. Harmon pitches it out. Jackson, nowhere to run. Each season we get a little bit more excited about our offensive line and think maybe this is the year the guys step up. And every year we hate them more and more. 3rd and goal. Tugboat, that's the juke move here, but he's going to get stopped at the 6-yard line. Coach McMervin's feeling a little bit risky here on a 4th and goal. Instead of opting to go down by 1, he's putting the ball in his playmaker's hands, and he's hoping Tugboat can get in the end zone, and he can. That is why they call him Tugboat. Doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, or 7. That man is going to run through him and get in the end zone. We went into halftime with a 3-point lead, and here in 3rd and inches in the 3rd quarter. We're trying to get a chance to extend it, and we might. But Rich Cherry's going to get hurt at this play. We got a lot of injuries starting to add up. It's been a long drive for CVU, but we're just trying to make sure we get some sort of points here. A crazy throw, and it's out of bounds. And Rich Cherry comes back in the game, and now he's hobbling. This is not good news for that man. So Chip Nix already hit one today. He's going to line up and try to hit a second one. A little wide on this one, but it is good. It counts, but Chip, we were a little worried about it. SMU in the red zone. They're feeling good, but what a play by Hemphill. CVU crowd getting a little hype here. We're trying to lock in for this W. And a good tackle again by Hemphill. He's been all involved. Can our guys make the play that we need here on 3rd and 4? A lot of great coverage. The pressure's coming, and he brings them down. Cordavius Royer in on the sack. Pause if needed. So what was looking to be a touchdown by SMU after a great drive stalls. On a 4th and 13 from the 15-yard line. They're lining up kick a field goal to cut this lead to 3, and they do just that. Coyotes come back out on offense, needing to get a touchdown on this drive. We cannot have more field goals. We love Chip Nix, but we don't want to see him unless it's an extra point. The offense has been really good today. We haven't turned the ball over through the air, which is honestly half the battle for us. And a nice pass here by Harmon is going to get Tim Tyndall in the open field where he dominates. Tyndall, 90 yards on 4 grabs today. That is a man that loves a big rack after the catch. Tugboat up the middle, gets us about 3. And while most of the team is having a lot of success in this offensive scheme that Coach McMervin has cooked up, we are seeing Tugboat have arguably one of the worst games of his career. 10 attempts, 20 yards. That is not great on the ground. Right back here to the run. Tugboat finally gets some blocking, and that man says it's about time. Closing out the 3rd quarter with a touchdown, and that's going to extend our lead back to double digits. CVU back out here on defense, and a big hit, though, by Cameron Rose. SMU is down the field here in the 4th quarter. They got a chance to cut this lead back to single digits, but not scoring on this drive would be a big loss for them. And speaking of a loss, we get a nice tackle for loss. Trips over there on the other side. They go with a run, though, but we're all over this. Roderick Jr. and company are going to bring them down. SMU finding themselves in a big 3rd and 11. What do they got here? A lot of things being dialed up, and one of those is a first down. But Mario Ortiz goes down for Cascade Valley. Where is our trainer? SMU going back to the run game. A beautiful spin move. They've got us falling down for no reason. We don't know what exactly is happening. Is it magic? Is it voodoo? Are we cursed? It could be all the above. We do find out after that nasty run that Mario Ortiz has bruised ribs and will be back soon. So Cordavius Royer will come in for him, but we need Ortiz to be healthy. Coyotes back on offense knowing that the clock is ticking at the moment. They've got to figure it out. And right now, Talley catches a nice ball for a first. Harmon up over 300 yards so far through the air today. Tugboat says, hold on, I'll do my own stuff out here. Tugboat really is just an unbelievable player. Despite not getting any blocking, this man is finding ways to still get in the end zone and maybe have a concussion. Well, 2nd and 10, get the play action going. And a dot here to Talley, who is finding a bigger role in this team every single week. The Wildcat here, Tugboat getting a chance to maybe get a yard if that. Right back to the run game. Tugboat again. Solid carries by him. Much better in the second half for the blocking. 3rd and 3. Not Tugboat. Excuse me. Ryden's going to get that first. Credit to DeAndre Ryden. A lot of people would not have come to Cascade Valley knowing that Tugboat Jackson is here, but he was up for the challenge to try to test. 2nd and goal. Tugboat planting his foot in, but a hard hit stops him short. 3rd and goal. They give it to their best player, and Tugboat finds his way into the end zone. 3 rushing touchdowns on under 60 yards in the afternoon. This man is a fantasy football demon. SMU finds himself on a big 3rd down. They got to figure it out, and they do here with, at least right now, with a nice little first. And Mario Ortiz is hurt again. Can this man stay healthy? The Coyotes bring a little bit of a blitz here. Delayed one, but SMU was all over it. Right back at him. Another good pass. SMU's QB is lighting us up. Only a 10-point game, under 3 minutes. The Mustangs are doing what they can to make this back to a single-digit game, and then we got to imagine we're going to be looking at an onside kick potentially coming up. Roderick covering deep. They still tested him, and that one was nearly caught. We find out that Mario Ortiz now has leg cramps. Get this man a Gatorade. 2nd and 10, a lot of crossing patterns. They go to the halfback out of the backfield, but our defense is all over it. The crowd is on their feet, but can we get a stop? Are you kidding me? Put that man in the Hall of Fame. That might be one of the most athletic catches we've seen from a tight end, possibly ever in college football. Unreal play, and this tight end not as lucky. Getting our guys up here to get some blitz and some pressure. Their quarterback, though, gets it off to the halfback and goes for nothing. SMU continues to line up in a hurry-up stance. Doing what they can here, but so far our defense has been able to lock them up. Their quarterback, though, is going to fake the run. And then we killed a man. We don't know if it was Hemphill or Cameron Rose, but we just saw a dead body. Through the beauty of instant replay, we find out that Mike Hemphill just killed a man. He's an All-American for a reason. Put some respect on his name. Mike Hemphill is that guy. And speaking of that guy, we saw Tugboat Jackson. Don't forget the junior. Go for that first in that previous play. SMU down to one timeout here, and Tugboat losing a whole lot of yards. On 3rd and 11, Coach McMervin is going to opt to get a little pass play going here. The best player on the field in most people's opinion, Mark Fiercely, and he stays in bounds like a true vet. That's going to let Coach McMervin try out the victory formation. We didn't get the victory last week, but this week against a ranked opponent, Coach McMervin, Lamar Harmon, Tugboat Jackson and company are going to walk out here with a 10-point victory at home, which says something. We just saw Mario Ortiz jumping around. I thought that man had leg cramps. Get him some Gatorade. Tugboat ends up being your MVP despite only getting 65 yards on the ground. He had 3 touchdowns. He's him. Lamar Harmon ends up 25 of 39 for 362 and a touchdown. No turnovers, which is the most important thing for him. On the ground, you saw what Tugboat did. We get a little bit from Harmon, and Ryden gets his 1 carry, but he also had a fumble today, which we don't love. In the air, though, we're going to see Fiercely go 7 for 87. Jackson goes 6 for 54 and a touchdown, our only one that we had. But Tyndall for 90, Talley for 62, James for 46. A lot of guys got involved. And then defensively, Fatali Seago is still a dog. 11 big tackles for him. You love to see that. Weldon Rose chiming in with 8. From a sack perspective, only 1. Cordavius Royer, which you guys saw earlier in the game, he gets 1. And then interceptions, Mike Hemphill, and a dead body after he killed a man. He's him. A nice little victories at home, but we don't want to just rest on our laurels here. We got Purdue this week, and we got to go to Purdue, and they were undefeated. So say what you will about Purdue. While we have a better team on paper, they're still undefeated. We still have to watch out for them, and Tugboat is going to really be the key to our game. This man had a great game last week, getting 3 touchdowns, but we want the yards for him, and we want the production. We feel like he can do that, so we got to lock in and win this game. But speaking of locking in, there are a couple of players right now that are making a name for themselves in the 2027 Heisman Trophy race. We would love to see Mike Hemphill up there, but offensively, he just hasn't really been contributing. Lagway, Ben Rashid are both killing it at the moment. But look at Wake Forest having a wide receiver in Keenan Jackson, who had a lot of yards and 4 receiving touchdowns last week against Virginia Tech. And their quarterback, who's been balling out a little bit too. Maybe he's getting carried 9 for 16, 213, and 4 touchdowns is great, but I feel like Keenan Jackson is elevating that man's name. There's a train at Purdue this week, but it's not won by Purdue. It's not the Boilermakers. It is the Coyotes, who are on a little bit of a winning streak. Maybe it's 1 game. Maybe it's 10 in our minds. But today, Purdue, they lose their undefeated streak. You better believe it. The Coyotes are on the field, and they're trying to strike first. And we're seeing Harmon with a beautiful pass to Tyndall, who had almost 100 yards last week. Immediately right back at him. A nice little run here. And Tugboat could have maybe had 10, 15 yards if he didn't run into his own man's arm. Purdue does have somebody get injured in the previous play, but that's not our problem. Our problem is to make sure we dominate. The run game looking way better than what it was looking last week. Harmon's out here, feeling the pressure, though, and goes down. 2nd and 23, a lot of opportunity for the guys, but they got to lock in. Tyndall was open, but his QB can't hit him. And honestly, that sentence sounds a lot like what we've heard before. Open, but the QB can't hit him. Cascade Valley, they've had their ups and downs. Harmon has been good in some moments, not in others, but they've got to find the QB of the future this offseason. And you might notice that Cascade Valley has a little bit of a lead at the moment. Well, that's because Dylan Talley went 74 yards on a pass. So the Coyotes, holding on to a little bit of a lead here, are trying to shut down Purdue's offense, but they have been working their way down the field little bit by little bit. But their QB is taking off, and we apparently forgot how to tackle. Zaire Johnson should have been sacked in the backfield there, but instead he goes off for about a 30-plus yard gain. And our defense just crying in the wind right now. But this time, Roderick is going to bring him down. Michael Roderick, a free safety by nature. This man's been playing a little bit of linebacker in some of our packages. And he has been living up to the hype we had in the offseason with a big hit. And Mario Ortiz, get him some Gatorade. How is he hurt again? Crucial 3rd and 5, though. Zaire Johnson making a couple of adjustments here. Seco is after him, and he throws it away. Great escapability there. And Mario Ortiz, bruised ribs. Sure, get him a Gatorade. But look at this. Purdue says we don't trust our kicker. From the 16-yard line, they opt to not kick one. And they're going for it here on 4th down. And they're going to get it and almost get into the end zone. Our guys find themselves defending on 1st and goal. A halfback toss. He runs into his own man 4, 5, 6 times, and we still can't stop him. Purdue is going to tie this up. Tie ball game. Harmon has got to get his boys going right now. A beautiful pass, though, to Neighbors is how you get it going, and a beautiful ankle breaker on top. First quarter kind of wrapping up a little bit. Tugboat just trying to find some room in this run and picks up about 4. Final play of the first quarter here. Harmon all day, and he's going to find Tyndall, who says, I don't care about your tackling. Tim Tyndall into the end zone. What a grown man. He better win tight end of the year this year. Defense has been doing their job outside of that initial drive. Harmon's going to throw a late one here, and Tyndall might lose a couple of yards. 2nd and 11 here. Harmon's going to just throw that one in the dirt. 3rd and 11. We want to keep this drive going. Harmon just throwing it behind. If he can get his guy in front and lead him, that could be a first. After our lackluster spot on offense, though, you're seeing Purdue right down the field. Good play action. Their quarterback, plenty of time. Checks underneath, and that's a hard hit. Johnson, little fake here. Rolls out to the right-hand side, and he falls down. I mean, it would be the easiest sack Jennings has ever gotten. Johnson's been really aware most of the game, but running directly over to a lineman and basically falling down in front of him, that's a little different. A heave out here. Nichols is going to go up and climb the ladder to get that one. What a play. 2:36 on the clock, which is plenty to try to make something happen here. And Harmon says, you know what? You want to blitz me. You better take some better angles. Harmon's going to get out of bounds safely after a big scamper. 2-minute warning's coming up. Harmon's got his guys in a good spot right now, though. A beautiful chance, and he just cannot find Fiercely. To make matters worse, Fiercely got kind of lit up on that play, but like a champ, he's still staying in the game. We're going to find Tyndall, though, to try to get a short yardage play, and Tyndall somehow stays in bounds and gets the first. 2-minute warning is here. They're leaving Tyndall open, so we just got to watch him do the worst juke of all time. Moving into almost field goal range. Remember, Chipnick's accurate, but does not have a good leg. About 71 powers with their rating this man, so we've got to see if we can do something else. And we don't even need a kicker with Tugboat Jackson running over people like he's Cam Scatterbowl. That's what we've been waiting to see. Mizzou's got a big drum. They have pyrotechnics. They have fireworks. But will they leave happy today? Will they have a W? Coach McMervin says, absolutely not. This is a rain game, which our team has definitely struggled in historically. Coach McMervin does not love these. His team is not used to rain. They're used to snow. But that doesn't happen in College Football 26 either. CVU rocking the orange jerseys with the white pants and white helmet. You don't see it very often, but when you do, you're pretty happy. What we're not happy about right now is that man running all over us. Rain games have been a challenge for us right now, but both teams at this point are 3-1. We're trying to leave here 4-1. On 2nd down, Mizzou staying with the play action. They've been running that a lot, but we are also running their quarterback into the ground. John Jennings chasing down the QB was a big moment for us right there. And their QB gets hit as he throws this one, and it nearly goes to Cam Rose. DeAndre Ryden is returning kicks for us a lot this year, especially punt returns. He's going to have a little bit of the wide side of the field to leverage here. Can he use that speed? Apparently not. The rain slowed him down. Harmon's been trying to silence his critics these last few weeks. But what has he got here as his team is looking for something major? He's going to use his legs, and he's got almost the first down. One of our biggest issues is just not running the football very well this year. You've got to do a better job of just getting big yards on the ground. But we got to block better for Tugboat. Mizzou's crowds got to be feeling good, but we're hoping we can silence them quickly. Big 2nd and 10. Harmon, though, throws that one and it's nearly picked off by a lineman. The offense looked so good in the previous weeks, but not today. And the offensive line has looked the worst it has looked all season right now. Just as quickly as we punted it away, Andrew Alexander got an interception, returns it to the 17. But he did get hurt on that same play. And look at Tugboat saying, I'm taking advantage of that into the end zone. And Tugboat Jackson gets his squad to lead. Mizzou's got a 3rd and long. Their quarterback, though, sees the pressure, and Stephen Weldon with a great stop. Defense has been absolutely fantastic so far today. We're hoping the offense can do the same. Not exactly. We try to bait the corner. He was ready. And Mizzou has the ball almost in field goal range now. 5 wide for Mizzou. They've got to be feeling pretty good. This has been an interesting game where we have not really been on our A game. 2nd and 9. The halfback screen. We were not prepared for this one. And it shows as their running back is still going into the 15. In one of the strangest things we've seen, they're lining up in goal line, not on the goal line. And maybe that's why. Because we love everything. The offense back on the field. Last time we saw him, pain. Just kind of like what Tim Tindall's feeling. Harmon on a little bit of a cold streak. We just got to ask this man not to do too much, and that didn't work. First quarter started off strong, but it's looking a little rough here. But Tally drops one. What are we doing? Mizzou scores quick, and we got the offense back on the field, just praying for blocking and success. 2nd down and 8. Harmon obliterated, but he finds Fiercely on a miracle catch. Just find ways to get the ball out and make smart decisions. It's the hole we're looking for Fiercely. And he won't even check it. But the O-lineman showing the speed. First quarter feels like it has taken 6 years to go. But Mark Fiercely just breaking ankles, but takes a bad hit, though, and takes a lot of wear and tear. 3rd and 7. This crowd is going insane at the moment. And Harmon just can't even get rid of it. Coach McMervin brings in Julian Duggar. His earlier appearance this season did not work. It also ended up being a loss. We're going to hope that we get something better here. Duggar throws one deep. And Mark Fiercely hauls it in. Maybe that's a good omen because this team needed that right now. Harmon is on the bench. Will it be forever? We don't know. But right now, we're just trying to win one game at a time. And Duggar gives us our best chance after we saw that previous play. Getting the guys back out. Tugboat takes the carry. They weren't expecting him to get that one, and he clears the first down easy. We're really doing our best to give this man the rock in way more advantageous situations. And it's paying off right now. Keeping it simple for Duggar right now, and it's working. Fiercely got the first down. First down, Duggar feels the pressure. He throws it away, but they say he's not outside of the tackle box. That is going to be intentional grounding. So we now find ourselves at a 2nd and 22, which is beyond unfortunate. Duggar gets the screen pass out pretty quickly, but there's just not a lot of blocking for Tugboat still. He makes it 3rd and 19. 3rd and 19. We can't believe that screenplay barely got us any yards. Duggar throws one. What just game of the year? College football 26. Game of the year. Don't buy 1 copy, buy 10. Game of the year. We're not just playing against Mizzou, we're playing against the Devs. Duggar, a nice ball here though to Fiercely. Back at it, no blocking. 2nd and 11. Nice play action. Duggar's gonna make a good throw, and Tyndall has that one to make it 3rd and short. 3rd and 4. What is happening? Coach McMervin opts to keep his team out there to go for it here. And that was a mistake. We pick up here in the start of the 3rd quarter, and you might notice Lamar Harmon's back in the game. Coach McMervin saw some positive things from his guy in Julian Duggar, but ultimately not enough to really keep him out there. But at the same time, Harmon knows that he is on a very, very short leash. And Tugboat might be too. So in 2nd and 10, they opt to go with a screen. These have been interesting so far, and Tugboat, way to run that one up. Harmon just doesn't like what he sees and gets rid of that one. A run play, no blocking. This is a game that is very easy for Cascade Valley to win, but just, it's been not ideal. The defense is able to do their job, and the offense is back out here to mess things up as Tugboat gets about 2. Jackson had a fantastic week running the ball last week, but this week it has been not going his way, and Ryden can't get away from the defender. 3rd down, 12 yards to go. Incomplete. His offense was on to a pretty hot streak, but they started to slow down as well. Maybe the rain's getting to them too, but can our offense pick up anything? A little boost from special teams would be helpful here. As Ryden so close getting to the other side. Harmon, a couple of adjustments here. Fiercely has a step or 2 on him. Fiercely's going to haul that one in, and this is why we're going to miss this man right here, because he can do things like that in just a flash of a second. Here's Mizzou, end of the 3rd quarter, 3rd and 5. This is a big moment for both teams. And a hit that he holds on to it. Unbelievable. Fourth quarter is here. Mizzou opts to go for the run, but they're met pretty quickly at the line. They're getting pretty close to field goal range. They go for another run, and we just part like the Red Sea. Wide receiver moving in motion. They go with a jet touch pass, but we got it all over that one to stop them for a loss. Back to the passing game. We're unsure as to why no one covered that, but welcome to Cascade Valley. The offense back out here. And Tugboat got a chance. Can he outrun him? He can't. With 95 speed, apparently he's not fast enough. 85 yards and a touchdown for Tugboat on only 13 attempts today. It's been a good one for him, but he wants it to be a great one. That one, though, not going to turn into much. 2nd and 7. Harmon goes right back to his running back, who is carrying this team, and you would think that he's slow with how fast everyone catches up to him. DeAndre Ryden's going to come into the game. A little bit of wear and tear starting to tackle here for our guy Tugboat. 2nd is short. Tugboat back in the game. They say he almost has the first. Should be a guaranteed first here if the offensive line just does even remotely part of their job. And Tugboat is into the end zone. This man is carrying Cascade Valley all season long. If only we had a real QB. Zoo takes the field yet again. And we are just trying to stop this running game. 2nd and 8. They check down this time, make it 3rd and 5. Now we're in a bit of a spot, though. They've got a 5 wide receiver set. They got guys all over the field. They opt to go low, though, and it's way more than they needed for the first. Little speed option. He fakes the pitch, and that ends up not working for him. Loss of 2. We haven't seen much from their QB in terms of running, so it's been interesting they went for an option here. Check down, though, goes nowhere. Great hit. Major opportunity. Can we finally get a stop and get them off the field? Their quarterback's going to check down, and we keep him in bounds and knock him down. So with under 4 minutes left in this game, it is a tie ball game here in Mizzou. They're going to punt one away, and we're going to have a chance to go down the field and win this game. Harmon doing what he does best, hands this ball off to a man named Tugboat. Time is of the essence here. We have a lot of time, but at the same time, we don't. Got to be smart here. Harmon is barely getting that first down. Dylan Talley with a great grab is going to keep that ball right in his possession to get that first. That was an unreal toe tap by him. And Tugboat is out here running. Tugboat Jackson Jr. is going to go off to the house. We could have stopped and opted at 2 o'clock and go for a field goal, but Coach McMervin wants the guaranteed points, and that's why we're going to take them. Mizzou is in a 4-down situation here. They've got a 3rd and long. They're going with a halfback screen. We've been killed by these this season, but not this time. And Seco and company smell it out. Major moment for this defense. They've got to get a stop here. They float one, and Hemphill just... What is this game? College football 26, where dreams can come true. We are just fighting right now, trying to keep Mizzou out of getting in the end zone. If Vitaly Seco is going to get hurt now, this is not good news. He's our best defensive player at linebacker. 2nd and 9, Mizzou cooking so far. Their quarterback's going to check down. We're going to keep him in bounds. That's beautiful for us. They only have 2 timeouts left. Seco has a bruised hand. At this point, we need you in the game, man. A little scary here. See what they're doing. They're testing us and just... They will catch anything and everything. This game is not real. We're lining up and trying to get a stop here, and Seco is going to be in on the tackle. Another run. This time, our guys are just falling down. This is a miserable effort by the Coyotes. And Mizzou takes the game to be tied with 40 seconds left. 2 timeouts, which I don't know how we lost the timeout. It might have been on the injury timeout that we had. But we are trying to get yards and get out of bounds right now. Keep in mind, our kicker is not exactly ideal. Chip Nix, accurate, doesn't have a lot of power, but they are pressing Mark fiercely, which is a dangerous thing to do. We're getting rid of that one. Fiercely's kind of being a decoy at the moment, but we know we could use him. The blitzes are real, and they are stopping us. Just sending guys deep at this point. We're going to see if we can get Dakota James to maybe run a little bit of a comeback route. He seems beyond confused at the moment. He maybe got into him, but we don't know if he's going to listen on that one. Oh, we didn't see the other DB. That's going to be tough. 4th and 11. We're going to overtime. Coach McMervin with his patented strategy of tails never fails, and, well, we won the coin toss. So now we're out here trying to play defense. And I don't really know if we played defense at all today. Another run. Our guys struggling to tackle, but they only get 2 this time. 2nd and 9, a solid run, but 3rd and 9 now. We are in a spot where we will absolutely take a field goal by them because that puts us in a really good situation. The quarterback throws one. We don't know how we got rid of it, but a field goal's coming up now. This is almost best case scenario for us at this point. They're gonna line up for a field goal. This should be a pretty easy chip shot. If we can just find a way to score a touchdown, the game is over. Our offense has had a lot of issues today, but the one thing we've been able to rely on has been tugboat as long as there's blocking. 2nd and 8. Tyndall with a great catch, and now there's an injury to Mizzou. Already to the 11, but now it gets a little tough with Mizzou's defense having their back against the wall. With them knowing tugboat wants to carry each and every time. A lot of pressure on this team to convert here. Dakota James is going to go all the way to the 1. They say he's not in. We would love to give this to Lamar Harmon, but at the same time, we don't really trust this man to not fumble the QB sneak. So we're going to hand it off to Tugboat, who's in the end zone, and Cascade Valley is going to go into Mizzou and get that W. A lot of people question Coach McMervin today. He probably even questioned himself. But to get the overtime victory, it doesn't matter if we win by a blowout or by a little. As long as the W is associated with Cascade Valley, we don't care at all, baby. Player of the game is none other than Tugboat. 4 touchdowns, 21 attempts, and 173 yards. That's a bad man right there. This game felt like it took an insane amount of time as Harmon went back and forth, battle, got benched, came back, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Duggar, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. We don't know who the QB is going to be, but we just need people to lock in out there. On the ground, again, you saw what Jackson did. Duggar got sacked a couple of times and lost a lot of yards. And then in the air, Mark Fiercely, 8 for 194 yards and 2 touchdowns. Did have 1 drop today, but had some incredible catches, so we will absolutely forgive him. Shout out to Dylan Talley going 2 for 80. Those are the only guys that scored in the air today, but Tyndall, Jackson, James, and company, they were still important. Defensively, Vitali Seago got hurt, but still managed 12 big tackles today. 8 of those being solo and 3 for a loss. From a sack perspective, we got Harper getting 1 and John Jennings getting 1. And then interceptions, Andrew Alexander got a crucial one early, but he got hurt. We'll find out more in his injury a little bit later. And as you can imagine, Tugboat Jackson, player of the week. 8 yards per carry is insane. Getting the win is important, but the bad news we get is that we see Deshaun Weeks is already out for a week. He'll be back soon, as will Cam Ali. But Andrew Alexander is going to be out for 6 weeks. And that's going to be tough because he's been playing an important part for this defense so far. Good coverage, has an interception, was stepping up as a freshman. He's missing considerable time now. He's a partial PCL tear. Our next game will be against Illinois, and it's a big one because we have multiple big recruits visiting. If we can secure this visit and secure this W, Cascade Valley will be happy for more than one reason. Be safe, be smart, tell somebody you love them. Catch you guys on the next one.